Hi Pisces, I'm so very pleased to be here with you. I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. We're starting off with the Seven of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. For some of you, there's something that you're deciding to walk away from because you don't feel like you're trusting it. This can be something having to do with a company, but this can also be a person too. Definitely having to do with a connection that you have. I'm seeing at least one other person be involved in this. It feels like it's something that in a spiritual sense you may feel tied to, and you may understand or like even see your identity in this other thing. It's like you relate to it so much. However, it seems as well like there are other factors going on, and that's causing some type of discord within your connection with like this person or this job, this company, maybe even a role that you feel like you're giving too much of yourself to be playing. I'm seeing something finishing up. I've been seeing the Eight of Cups a lot lately within the past week with the readings. So it feels like, in a grand sense, the coming to terms with and waking up of what feels satisfying to you, what feels satiating to you, and also what doesn't, and what you want to remove yourself from, what you want to walk away from, and also what you're seeking as well, where you're trying to go. And knowing too that some things must come to an end in order for you to explore this for yourself. It feels as well like there's an adjustment period too that you're going through right now. I'm hearing the word musing. Whatever this is that you're not going to be doing anymore, or not participating anymore, or that you're walking away from, it seems like there's a sense of patience patience that's needed when it comes to you adjusting to like this newness that you're stepping into, because it may be something that you were very caught up in that you're leaving behind now, choosing to. Something that's run its course, but something that's still difficult to walk away from in order to go to something new. Yeah, I'm getting the word adjustment, adjusting, being very big here with the Sag energy. For some of you, there's also some shadow work that you're addressing too. It's like definitely working through something that feels difficult. This can even be an aspect of yourself that that you feel is more subconscious, and something that you're trying to bring more conscious awareness to. It's like really trying to understand yourself, and I'm also hearing the pitfalls. And this can even be like a natural inclination that you have too. It's like maybe sometimes catching yourself in a position where you're trying to like play the martyr, or put other people before your own needs, and this is you like checking what you really need and if you're meeting those needs, and taking that stance when it comes to how you're showing up for yourself and how you're taking care of yourself. So maybe also putting the focus more so back on you and what you're trying to accomplish right now for yourself, and also taking the time you need, taking time that's necessary for you. For some of you, there's definitely like a job or some type of responsibility that you may be stepping away from momentarily for some. For others, this can be something more long-term, but I'm definitely seeing some type of like break or opportunity to reset when it comes to work. And I'm seeing a lot of effort that is being invested in this right now. It's interesting because there's definitely a duality when we look at these two cards, because with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like you're investing in something, you're putting in so much time and effort into it. It like talks about really putting your energy into something. And then with the Four of Swords here, this is about you taking a break, and this is about you paying attention to what you need, and it's about getting in touch with yourself. So it's like investing in that, investing in your state of mind is what I'm hearing too. I am seeing this, for many of you, this has to do with a job, a role, responsibilities, definitely can have a financial side to it as well. Something that affects your finances in a way. And maybe also understanding this, like work and rest balance too. And where to find that middle ground for yourself so you're not getting burnt out, because maybe you also feel like you were giving too much away to something. And maybe you want to do things differently than you had been before. I'm definitely seeing a sense of renavigating here when it comes to the way that you are feeling your own energy, and also the way that you're connecting with those around you. Like you may be maybe you put certain relationships or a particular relationship on the back burner, and now it's something that's kind of coming to the front. Maybe even to be assessed in a way for you. Something to think about. And as much as this can be a particular connection or relationship that you have, this can also be on a whole, trying to figure out what exactly you're looking for when it comes to love and a connection, and how you actually want to connect, and where that satisfaction lies for you. And I'm seeing that there's something that, again, somehow I'm seeing this tie into your finances or home life in some type of way. This thing that you seem to be evaluating here, reevaluating. I'm seeing you decide to like kind of pull your energy back to yourself altogether, to really think about something, and maybe even what has led you to where you are now. Because there's a sense of also reviewing things that may have ended in discordant ways, and maybe trying to understand why that has happened. Like what led you to the place you find yourself in now. And also why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and also what it's going to take to bring a type of satisfaction into your life that maybe you feel like is missing right now. And maybe it's something that is becoming more and more important for you to develop for yourself. Develop within your life, within your connections. What's going to bring you happiness. Where does that sense of pleasure and fulfillment lie for you? And how do you exert yourself in a way where you're also practicing temperance and patience when it comes to building this thing that you're trying to build here? Especially when it comes to your core needs, and really prioritizing that and trying to find ways to express that and connect with that. Especially when it comes to what you're willing to give too. Because I'm seeing there be this desire to build something in a way where you feel like a relationship or something that you're doing, because a relationship doesn't just have to be an interpersonal relationship. It could be anything that you're energetically connecting with. You want to develop this sense of balance. You want to feel a sense of equality. You also want to feel respected and valued for what it is that you bring to the table here as well. And you know that it's something that is going to take time and effort and your efficiency to be able to develop and build in that direction for yourself. I am seeing this be kind of a moment of realization for you as well, and maybe something that took some time to gain an understanding of. This is really beautiful. So I'm seeing too a notion. I'm seeing the Seven of Swords be our own energy here, Pisces. And what is being worked on, this feels very much like impulses that you may have, especially ones that are more subtle or more subconscious. This is about you taking ownership over these things and sitting within that. It's like when you have this feeling come over you, this is about sitting with that and being like, okay, what impulsively am I feeling towards right now? What do I actually want to do about it? So it's like, rather than just like moving every time you feel the impulse to do that or taking action, this is about you sitting within that and being like, is this something that I want to be engaging in? Is this something that I want to be doing? Do I like what the outcome of that behavior is going to be for me? And how do I sit in that and get comfortable with that, where I'm coming to terms with everything that I'm feeling and I'm not shying away from feeling it, and I'm also not feeling called to action before I'm ready to take action and also take the responsibility and repercussions for what that action would end up being, like what the outcome of that would be. And there's a desire to gain a sense of stability for yourself, whether this be emotionally how you're showing up for yourself and or on the work front. It's wanting to be in a position that you value, and one where you also feel like your psychological and emotional needs are being made and met, and how you combine the two. It also seems like either whatever this Two of Cups is for you, whether this is you connecting with another soul, somebody that you really resonate with and somebody that you very much care for, whether it be that or you just really on a whole level connecting with yourself here, there's a sense of really getting down to the bottom of understanding what we're feeling here. And it seems like in whatever connection this is that you feel so much a part of, again, whether this be you with yourself or you with another person, it feels like this is what's driving you right now towards you finding your fulfillment. And maybe also recognizing the value of having these intimate relationships with people and also with yourself too. It seems like a lot is being thought about at this time with the Hermit and with Temperance. This is a lot of like sitting and thinking, and also the King of Cups here, and feeling what we're feeling and trying to understand what we're feeling and what our needs are. This also comes down to as well how you want to be expressing yourself, especially when you care for something or someone. It feels too like certain behaviors are being analyzed as well. Again, I'm seeing this all be as much as we can talk about the Seven of the Swords being somebody outside of yourself that you can't trust, or we talk about the Knight of Wands being like somebody around you that you want to have a commitment with that doesn't want to have a commitment, I see these very much as also being reflections of the energy within ourselves that we experience. So the Seven of Swords in this case would be working on these areas of yourself where you don't show up for yourself, or where you're not getting vulnerable, where you want to get vulnerable, or where you feel like you need to lie because you don't want to be authentic and you don't want to deal with the repercussions of what you're doing. It's like all of these things that all of us deal with and all of us must come to face when we are trying to enter into a more conscious state. And I'm seeing too, there's this sense of you being like, I'm not satisfied with where I am now, and so this is all about me finding where that sense of fulfillment is going to be, and you taking a step back, maybe even from certain connections that you have right now, and analyzing like, what energies am I inviting into my life, and also which behaviors are not sufficient for the type of like commitment and calm and peace that I want in my life right now. Am I doing something that's sabotaging my relationships? Am I allowing certain energies? Am I allowing myself to connect with certain energies that are not down to have the types of relationships that I want right now? Because I am definitely seeing sometimes these lies that we can tell ourselves, or things that we don't want to face, and how that really separates us from feeling connected to the things that at the bottom of it we do want to feel connected to. And sometimes out of fear of not being accepted, sometimes out of fear of not shining your brightest. And it seems now like there's this notion of wanting to get vulnerable, maybe in a way that you haven't for quite some time, or maybe that you've never experienced. And there's this sense of like, after going through something painful, rather than dwelling in it, allowing you to find yourself through that process, how you want to come out about things, like the way that you want to be, how you want to shed your light. A sense of unraveling as well. I am seeing the Knight of Wands too, in this sense, if this is not related to like you being in a connection with someone, I'm seeing this energy also be you sitting and analyzing where in your life you have acted impulsively, and maybe where that's become a habit or some type of pattern, and how you want to maybe even renegotiate that with yourself. Because it seems too like there could have been some impulsive decisions that were made, whether this be on your part or the part of somebody that you're with, and now something has come to an end because of that very thing. And maybe we're also understanding how to compromise with ourselves and our needs and still be able to maintain honest relationships of integrity with those around us, and also with ourselves, of course, behind it all. Yeah. It feels very much like there's some feelings that are coming up recently, again tying into this sense of like impulsively wanting to act on these things, and there's a sense of you denying yourself that because you know that boundaries need to be set. And this can be an impulse to get back together with someone or get back involved with something that may feel good instantly, like instant gratification wise, but you're recognizing that making the choice to do this is going to put you back into a place where you feel out of harmony, out of touch with yourself and what you actually need, what you're looking for, especially in a terminal way. Because I am seeing too this sense of energy. It's like we can be impulsive, we can jump to conclusions, we can jump back in that situation, we can reach out to that person, we can respond to that person, or we can decide that we don't want to do that because it's not going to bring us what we actually want, and rather We can wait things out. We can be patient. We can actually put in the time and effort to develop what we're trying to develop when it comes to us finding ourselves in a place where we feel we are valued and within connections that we want and participating in things that we feel good about participating in. And making sure that we're creating the boundaries necessary for us to find ourselves and protect ourselves within that space. I am seeing this too be a big change for you, because maybe you're also understanding where your boundaries had been weak and where you want to be working on them with Pluto over here. Making some big decisions too when it comes to how you want to be laying down boundaries. I'm looking at Sagittarius, Virgo, the sun, which is Leo. There's a sense of understanding what has gone wrong, if you will. It's more so this notion of trying to understand what has led you into places where you feel like your heart chakra has closed off, and really getting to the bottom of it here so you can move forward. I'm seeing with the Page of Swords here next to this, it feels like this awareness, this understanding that we're gaining when it comes to like what has hurt us in the heart chakra, what it's also going to take to heal, a sense of learning more about that. Definitely much more insight that's being gained. And I'm seeing it like maybe a different lens that you're looking at things through too, because you may really be leaning on like your spiritual connection in whatever way that resonates for you. It's like your relationship with yourself, your relationship with spirit, your relationship with the universe, with nature, whatever philosophical lens this is, whatever existential lens this is that you look at things through. And maybe you are taking on a more philosophical approach in a way that you're learning and understanding about something. Because the pain also ties into healing as well. The blocked heart chakra also ties into the opened and cleared heart chakra. And it seems like maybe even for some of you through is like some type of belief system or spirituality that you're gaining insight that you didn't have before. Or maybe even a perspective that you didn't have before. This feels like something new even that you're learning about. Because the page is also a young energy. It's like just getting started and collecting information on something. And now the change that comes with it. What I'm getting to is that there also could have been some avoidance as well when it came to looking at the heart chakra and wanting to understand where you may not have been open. It's like before maybe this was something that you wanted to avoid altogether, and now it kind of feels unavoidable at this point because something within the heart chakra is definitely changing. It's definitely evolving. It's definitely growing. But this also means that there's a sense of also things feeling unpleasant, things feeling painful, reliving things, reviewing things in order to make that change. Because you have to undress it all the way to be able to see what's underneath. And I'm definitely seeing this be like something very vulnerable and emotional, and maybe you are feeling more emotional, for some of you sentimental, because of like tapping so deeply into yourself here and what's really going on, and listening to your heart and what it's telling you. I'm seeing a huge, huge tower. For some of you, this is a major download that you're getting from your guides and or from spirit, from your higher self. For others of you, there's someone unexpectedly that's reaching out to you. You may be surprised that this person is still watching you. Whatever message this is that you receive, it's definitely not something that you're expecting, and I'm seeing that it comes about because of a very big change, a very big shift that's happening. Pisces. I'm looking at Scorpio, Mars, and Taurus here. For some of you, you may even get this feeling like you're being guided to reach out to someone, and this may like completely overtake you. It's like you didn't expect to feel this way, and now you're feeling this way, and it kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's because of the changes that you're going through. I'm seeing this be something beneficial for you. So how you know what this is that if this is something that feels possibly uncomfortable, but the essence of a healing energy, that's what this would be. It feels very much like connecting with someone, reaching out to someone, connecting with someone, or for some of you, this is definitely receiving a message. But we're reading for how many people here, so I'm seeing it go either way. But yeah, whether this is this unexpected feeling of having a conversation with someone or expressing the way that you feel, or this is a message that comes through, I'm seeing it be surprising on either end. Definitely not something you were planning for, but something that kind of gets jolted into place because of these changes that you're making. So it feels like because of this internal action that you're taking, there's also external action that's taking place as well. Something you are going to see reflected. Something that's definitely part of your path as well. Because I'm seeing spirit be above this, watching the message be carried through. For some of you, it's definitely about a connection with someone. I'm looking at the Lovers and the Nine of Cups here. And with the Queen of Swords too, definitely some type of conversation. I'm seeing this be a relationship type of conversation. I'm looking at Gemini and Aquarius. And I'm also looking at Leo here. Okay, we're gonna end the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in, Pisces. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.